Hello and welcome back to another Ivy Grove video. My name is Meg Birch and I'm a professional singer-songwriter, and today I thought it'd be really interesting to share with you my writing process and also just talk a little bit about songwriting. We haven't really spoken too much about it here on the channel, but myself and Nick, who are the founders of this channel, we actually songwrite professionally, working with publishing teams and things like that. And so I thought it'd be really interesting today to maybe bring you a few tips and tricks and just kind of talk about the whole process. I'm so eager to know how other people write as well. So let's get a bit of a conversation going in the comment section below. Let me know what you do, and you know, if there's something I tell you about here that you go, oh my word, I've never thought of that before, let me know, give me your ideas, like let's get a conversation going. So to start with, I thought I would talk you through the process of what I do when I write a song, and also talk you through the considerations that you're going to need to have if you're starting out writing, or if you've been writing for years but maybe you haven't thought of these things or whatever. So I think the main thing for me is I primarily write for other people. So in order for me to start writing a song, I need to know roughly what genre are you working in. So that could be anything from K-pop to Western pop to some sort of like edgy, basically Billie Eilish is very trendy at the moment, and we get a lot of briefs from labels saying that they want that sort of kind of like dark, edgy pop sound. So maybe that, or maybe it's a folky country song. Basically, like, what are you writing for? What's the purpose? Are you writing for someone else? Are you writing for yourself? If so, are you going to pigeon yourself into a genre? Are you just going to let it flow organically? Or do you want to go, no, I want to take influence from, say, the 1975, or I want to take influence from Fleetwood Mac, in which case what I would say is, before you start, immerse yourself in like a good 20 minutes of listening to that person. It's not that we're going to copy, but we're just going to get ourselves into that mind frame of like, okay, so this is the sort of melodies I'm going to be looking for, this is the sort of rhythms, the sort of, and then that will inspire you to go from there. So once I have my genre and my theme, so a theme could be anything from, maybe someone will say to me, I just want it to be about love. So that could be anything. It could be about heartbreak, it could be about being madly in love with someone. So sometimes it's very vague and sometimes it's very specific, and they go, no, it needs to be about a guy who's been with a girl and then he's changed his mind, like, and there's a proper storyline. So are you going to write a storyline, or are you going to keep it vague? I'm just throwing these out there because these are decisions that we have to make, and it's whether you make a choice of, am I going to really outline these and almost build like a bit of a mind map of like, this is what the song is going to look like? Or are we just going to go in all guns blazing and let it happen organically? I've created really great songs in both, you know, both of them. Being vague and letting it happen organically, and then also pigeonholing it. So yeah, you need to make that decision. In order for us to write a song, we obviously need some music, so that's another thing to consider. When I write a song, I'm what you call a top line writer, which means that I work with producers and they'll have ready-made, almost backing tracks if you like. They'll send them to me and they'll literally say, Meg, we want a really nice melody and lyrics and that sort of thing in this sort of style, blah, 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 like we've spoken about, what's the genre, what's the theme, and I'll kind of go from there. But if you're a songwriter and you understand the music behind it, i.e. you either play something or you've got some production skills, then you need to make a decision how you're going to build your track. So firstly, you're going to need some sort of recording software. This could be anything from GarageBand to Logic to Ableton, whatever you are the most savvy on, I'd say go with that. You can get such a great sound even out of like GarageBand nowadays, so start easy if you're not overly production savvy. Are you then going to use all kind of programmed instruments, or are you going to bring some live elements in there? Are you going to play the keyboard and kind of play that in? Are you going to start with chords on the guitar? Are you going to start with just a string and synth section on your laptop to start with? I don't know. There's no set rules for this, but you need to work out a way that inspires you. There's got to be enough of a, I'm saying this in terms of, okay, so I know this is a very like conversation type video. This is me in the approach of, I do lyrics and melody second. Maybe you do that first and then you fit it to music. I don't know. If you do that, I'm amazed because there's not many people that I work with that do it that way, where they kind of create a melody and lyrics first. Most people tend to do the track first, but if you do it that way round, please can you like say that you do it in the comments section? That would just, I'd love to chat with you and get some tips from you. So yes, when I'm writing, I normally have something there. Most tracks we build are real instruments mixed with programmed instruments, because there's not a lot of money sloshing around until your song gets a cut, if you like. You have to build a lot of your ideas in production, fake strings, fake synths, all that sort of stuff, and I'm not being funny, it can sound absolutely amazing. So once I've got the track, I'll then start writing what we call that top line over the top. So what I'll start doing is I will just listen to the track maybe 3 times, but I'll leave my mic on. So the mic I use is a Sontronics STC20, looks like this. This is a British brand and it's just a really good basic recording mic. Wasn't too expensive, but again, in post-production with a few kind of reverby things on, this is like industry professional. It sounds amazing. So yeah, pick yourself up a mic, and I've also got the Focusrite Scarlett interface. Just really easy. It's just got like 2 inputs, one for a guitar or a keyboard and one for your vocal. And then what I'll do is I'll just play the track and I'll literally just start singing like gibberish. So most of the time I start my melodies off in a do-do-do. So I'll be like do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do, or whatever it is over the music. Come up with some sort of idea, and I'll do that 3 times. So I'll have 3 takes of just different ideas and just singing whatever comes to my head. And what I'll normally do then is I'll go, oh, I really liked that bit that I did for like that bridge section. And I'll start piecing together a track, and then maybe even after those 3 takes, I'll go, I still don't feel like I've got a strong verse yet. So I'll go again, maybe I'll do it 3 times through, trying to find a verse. So yeah, I'll sing all these ideas. And once you're set then with like your hum melody, that's when I start piecing together lyrics. So if you struggle with lyrics, and this is always my downfall, is like I'm great with melodies, but lyrics, I just feel so uninspired. And sometimes I think to myself, oh my word, I've got such a boring life, I've got nothing to write about. And you hear all these amazing stories about awful things people have been through, and like you don't want to go through that awful stuff, but at the same time you're like, God, it makes such great songs to write such a heartbreaking song or whatever, and you feel like you don't have a lot to say. If you're in that same situation, I just look for inspiration elsewhere. So I think, well, whose story could I tell? Have I chatted to a friend this week and they've told me about this awful breakup that they're going through? Or, you know, have I read something in an article that maybe I go, oh my word, that really needs to be spoken about more? It can be absolutely anything. Find inspiration. Or again, if you've got a very specific theme of what the song needs to be about, I look at other songs that are in that vein. So again, I am not advocating plagiarism. I'm not saying go and copy someone's lyrics or whatever, but if there's a similar song that has either been given as a reference or is basically the story you want to tell in a nutshell, go and look at their lyrics, go and look at how they've crafted it together. I think another thing you have to kind of come to a decision on when you're writing lyrics is, are you gonna be very literal in terms of storytelling? So one artist who does this very well is Taylor Swift. She will write a song where it's literally like, I was downstairs and my mom was upstairs, and like literally it's like to a T everything that happened in the story. Or are you going to go a bit more metaphorical and put lyrics in that maybe allude to something else, or maybe tell of a story but it's just not so obvious? And that's more how I write, to be honest. So rather than, I think the storytelling stuff has come from the country folk scene, and we do see it a bit in pop music, but a lot of pop music is like, okay, so for example, if we looked at, currently the king of pop music, Justin Bieber, he releases that song Holy, and the first line is, I don't do well with the drama. So it's like that lyric is obviously he's struggling with something, but he's not telling us what the drama is. He's just saying, I don't do well with the drama. We don't know what the situation is. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, are you going to go literal and very specific with your lyrics, or are you going to give us a bit more of a vague idea? You need to come up with that. So once I've done my do-do-dos, I'll try and fit my lyrics in. That normally takes the longest bit, and I absolutely hate that part of songwriting because I'm just like, oh, I hate lyrics. I absolutely hate lyrics. So if you've got any tips for me, please, as I say, let's get this conversation going in the comment section. Leave me some tips. I think the one thing I've learned over the last few years of how to get good lyrics is always, whenever a good lyric or an interesting word that you hear in a conversation, write it on like the notes section of your phone and keep it. Also journaling. So if you're going through something in your personal life that you're like, oh, this is hard, not only is it like therapy for you to write it down in a journal, but also like go back to that journal, nick some lines for your lyrics. There's nothing more real than the true emotion that's coming out when you're writing down about something, so journal it. I think the main things I want to say with songwriting is it is such a personal thing, and it is such a skill that takes practice. There are those random, incredibly talented people who can just sit down and just instantly know how to write a hit song. But I think for a lot of people, you have to learn your own style of writing. You have to do what someone told me to do when I was younger, which is write for the bin. Finish a song, even if you're like, this is terrible, this just is not good. Just finish it. There's quite a bit of debate as to whether you should finish a crap song or not. I've heard some people say, no, if it's not working, don't waste any more time in it, just move on, start a new idea. But I feel the other way, and I know some people agree with me, is I think just finish it. It's another song in your bank then that you know, maybe look on 6 months time and go, oh my word, that was a finished song back then. How poo is that compared to what I'm doing now? I think finish it. Get used to having to finish piecing together a full song. I just think it's way, way, way more helpful. So be patient with it. Write for the bin. Don't put too much expectation on yourself of, oh, I'm going to have to write a hit right now. The minute you tell yourself you've got to write a hit, you're not going to write a hit. Like, it's just not going to pop. So just take a bit of pressure off yourself. Let yourself get creative. And I think as well, this whole thing of writer's block is, I know full on writer's block is like you feel like you can't write anything for weeks on end or whatever. But sometimes even when you're in the flow of writing a song, you just get to a point where you're like, I just can't think of that correct lyric, or I can't quite nail that chorus melody line or whatever. Like, walk away, like go for a walk for an hour or make a cup of tea and like go away and come back with fresh ears and fresh ideas. Fresh ears and fresh ideas, I like that. And just try all you can to keep inspiring yourself. So be patient, write for the bin. I think a really great way is collaborate with people. Again, I was quite stubborn when I was in university. I had a songwriting module when I was there, and I remember going like, oh, I just love writing on my own. Like, it's so much better because then there's less decisions to be made and you're not having to run an idea past someone. But I think there's a real beauty in collaborating with people, and actually now I don't think I could write songs unless I did collaborate with people. I think adding someone else's flavour into your work, like, just takes it to another level. And obviously I've realised now my writing style is so much better when I work with a producer, and I can't produce, so it's like I'm stuck on my own anyway. I have to involve someone else, and it makes you grow so much more as a person. You can learn from that other person, and also like, it's not lonely working. Like, when you're a songwriter, if you're not working with other people, it is extremely lonely. You're building something that you're really excited about, and you're completely doing it on your own. It just takes the fun out of it a bit. So yeah, I'd say collaborate with other people, be patient, journal, and finish those songs. I feel like this was a nice kind of general chat about songwriting. I would love to do a video where I write a song in real time. Maybe I give myself like an hour, and this has happened before. Like, I've had Zoom writing sessions where we've gone, let's come back in an hour and see what everyone's got. So it does happen where you have to write fast, and I'll show you the process and maybe we break it down. So if a lot of you are interested in songwriting and you'd like to see that and you'd like to see how I work real time, we can so totally do that. Let me know if you'd like that. Give the video a thumbs up if you'd like me to do that. And yeah, I hope this has just been like an interesting general chat about songwriting. Maybe it's inspired you to try something new within your writing. And if not, I hope you enjoyed hearing me waffle. And yeah, I'm really, really happy that we're growing such an amazing community here on Ivy Grove. We've nearly got 600 of you. If you love our content, please do share it with like your friends, your family, your gran. I'm sure she'd love it. And we'll just build a bit of a community here where we can just help each other out, share tips, and yeah, just be inspired. So I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you on the next video. Stay tuned on Sunday for another cover, and we'll see you soon. Bye.